Hello guys, this is XWolfX here, and I'm gonna give you guys my prediction list of this coming up ban list, which will actually be revealed this Friday, is from what I've been told. I'm pretty excited about it. First card we got, which will be banned in my opinion, and it should be, 6 cents. It's a +4 or 5, or if worse comes to worse, somebody mills the cards, and oh no, that's so bad for you. Nah, that gives this card gives way too much game advantage, and it's bad for the game. And it should have been instant ban as soon as it came out, but it's Konami, and they wanted to sell Joey's World, so they kept it in the game. Next card to be banned, which everyone keeps talking about, Return from Different Dimension. It's really good. Pay half your life points to get up to 5 monsters. I used it in Hero Gate a couple times, and it was really broken, but most decks were hit and miss, but with the Dragon Rulers being out, Dragon Rulers banish all their stuff, get way too many pluses off this. It's just ridiculous. The next card, Snow. Not banned. I would say maybe 1 to 2, just because it's really good for Dark World. I've built it, test played it, and I felt like Snow gave Dark World way too much of a plus or an advantage. If it's not this, the one that I feel like Gates maybe should go to 1, but that's just my personal opinion on it. But because I mean Grapha, yes, it can destroy a monster in the back row and pull itself out, but Grapha can still be easily beaten, whereas this supplies the deck with everything it needs to get. The next card, Bujin Crane. It's an honest, and they have 3 of that plus an honest, and it's just ridiculous for them to have. It should definitely be going to 1, but that's once again personal opinion, and hopefully maybe it gets to 1, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. The Bouge Incarnation, I honestly feel like it should be banned, but I mean I know Boujins are still a new type, and they're gonna want to try to get the most money they can out of it. But basically, they get a monster out of their graveyard and banish zone, and there's no cost to it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I lost to this card a couple times. Like, the guy had no hand, no field, and top deck this, and then he top deck a second one in a turn in a row, and it was just ridiculous. I'm just like, wow. Sacred Swords of the 7 Stars, I could see this going to 1, just because, they banish a Dragon Ruler, and then they get a search off it, which is a +1 or a pot of greed, as everybody's calling it. So that's why I see that. The Dragon Rulers, I hope they go to 1, but they'll probably stay at 2 if anything, or just stay at 3 because Konami's making all their money off them at this current moment. Next card I feel like should either go to 1, would either be Spellbook of Secrets or the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Just because they're both really good. They both search out the spellbooks, and there's no cost to them. And as we all know, spellbooks can get really broken and derpy. So I just feel like one of these two should definitely go to 1. Bisphere. This needed to go to 1 as soon as it came out, because, I mean, when Mermails came out, they were just derping out hard over the format, and this card allows them to get major pluses during either player's turn. It's just ridiculous. The next card, Historic Sign, I feel like it should go to 1. Other players are arguing and saying it should go to 2. I feel like it should go to 1 just because of how they can get 3 cards if this card gets sent from the field to the graveyard, which I've seen a player do it, and, it's basically a +2 or 3 for the player. Well, technically 2 because Historic Sign is 1, and then the 2 cards they get to hand is 2. They do need to bring back Stratos to 1, in my opinion, because Heroes did nothing this format. And, I mean, Heroes have to have this card to go off or even to actually be able to go up in this format. Because I've been playing Heroes for a long time now, and I even tried to play in this format. I could go toe-to-toe with E-Dragons for a while, but eventually they would end up outsourcing me, where if I had Stratos, it would at least even the playing fields a lot more. and all of the hero decks just need Stratos, or they're not going to be able to top or do anything. Next card, Infestation Pandemic. This card definitely needs to go to 1. There's no cost to it. It's searchable. And the fact that it makes all the Evil Swarm monsters unaffected by spells and traps, which makes players go neg 1 or 2 or 3 possibly because of it. I could say Book of Moon going to 2 just because it's good, and it would just be nice to have it 2. Soul Drain, I can see him taking down the 2 if they hit the E-Dragons, just because if they hit the E-Dragons, then, you know, they have no real purpose of keeping that at 1, because it's a great side for Dark World and Mermails, and people would love to see it come back at 2. If Stratos comes back, I see this going back to 2, just because we don't want another Teledad format or something really derpy with it. Rescue Rabbit, I could see it going back to 2, because it was viable at 2. At 3, it was really broken and nutty. 1, it doesn't do its justice. So I feel like 2 would be a good balance for it. Plus, it would make Dino Rabbit playable again, and I know a lot of players would love to see that. Now, Whirlwind, I feel like it should go back to 2, just because I've played Black Wings before. I played it back when Whirlwind was at 3, and honestly, I feel like it's way too broken at 3, just because turn 1, if they get 3 Whirlwinds, 1 Shura, they pretty much have game over you, because by that time, they probably have their Icarus attacks and everything set up, and it's just ridiculous. 2, I feel like, gives it a balanced amount, because it gives a fairer chance to draw into, and just, it's not as ridiculous if 2 go off, because when playing it with 2, I mean, yeah, it was still really nutty, but at least it wasn't as bad as it was with 3, where 3, I was just derping out hard against everybody, and it was just looked bad. And I could see Plague Spreader going to 3. It hasn't really done much in a while, and with all the brand new zombie support, I can just see him bringing it to 3. And it's a good card, but not many people are abusing it right now, so I could definitely see it going to 3. And then there's this guy, Evil Swarm Ophion. I see him going to 1 because, A, he prevents level 5 or higher monsters coming out, and it's ridiculous that they can search out their Pandemic with him. And I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Ophion and Pandemic should both go to 1, just because there's no cost to Pandemic, it's searchable, like I said earlier, and then Evil Swarm Ophion just stops a lot of decks in its tracks, especially Junk Doppel, Fusion Gate Heroes, it hurts, and a couple of the other decks that are out right now. That was my prediction of the ban list. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys feel like should be the ban list. And please like and subscribe. Have a good day, guys.